All right, we're back with the right track with Brad. Today we got Sloane Johnson, and she's one of my friends I've known for a long time. We went to elementary school, junior high, and high school together, so that's a pretty long time. But when did we? I'm trying to figure out when I actually like knew you. Like I knew of you. I remember in like 4th or 5th grade. Like there's those kids that you see just like at recess.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't really see them anywhere else if they're not in your class. And I remember like seeing you before, and then it's just cool because a bunch of kids that you see at recess you end up becoming friends with like in junior high and high school if you go to public school. That was when I first knew.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah. I think, and like we had class together in middle school for sure. I know 8th grade Miss Dilk for sure.
Oh yeah, English.
We're in maybe 7th grade too. I don't know. But definitely in 8th grade, I remember because he used to steal everyone's pencils.
Wait, I forgot about that. I was a huge mechanical pencil stealer.
Yeah.
During the breaks, like the passing periods.
We're not safe during passing period at all because the back of your stuff is gone.
I do remember that. All right, so the phone just fell, but anyway, what were we saying? We're talking about the classes we had.
Yeah, or I was just saying in general, I forgot how you even picked electives in high school. I was just like...
I don't remember how we picked them, because I remember in junior high, you just, like, got assigned
right,
them.
Yeah.
Because I got, like, music. I'm like, I don't want to do music. No, I don't remember how we picked them. I think it just kind of randomly came.
I don't know, but I knew that I took classes that I wanted to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had to choose study hall.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember that.
I'm like losing memory of things in high school, and I'm like, that was only a couple years ago. But
well, it was like a few years ago.
Yeah, 3.
4.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
We're
4 years. It's a
now,
and like
no.
like it's a long time ago, and I think people don't really realize how like fast the time goes with that. But you always I know you were big into like celebrities, and specifically celebrities with music.
Yeah.
And I'm sure things have changed now, but like, you're still into music a lot?
Yeah, a lot. Like, I go to a lot of concerts. Like, I just went to one this weekend. I'm pretty much it's a band called No Pressure. They're like, you wouldn't know.
No,
They're like hardcore.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I know in middle school I was like obsessed with Green Day, and who I still really, really love. But yeah, super into music still.
So, I've never been to a concert before, actually.
No way.
No.
What?
So, like, I liked music, like, growing up, but it was just like, whatever was on the radio, like, in the car.
Okay.
You know, like, I wasn't into it, and I kind of wish I was a little bit more, but I'm kind of, in the last 2 years, I'm kind of really into, like, learning about new music, old music, and I just know so many people have been listening to music like way longer than I have, so they like have like much better taste, and they know all this, like they have a lot more variety in their music that they listen to. But for me, I haven't had like that love of like music really. Like I like listening to music when I'm running or playing basketball, but it's not like I'm out searching for new music. It's just kind of like whatever I hear and I like, that's what I'm gonna listen to. But I can't. Like I know now, but like I wasn't really searching for like new music. I didn't really know how to do that. So, how did you like learn about all these bands or all these types of music?
Well, my parents played a lot of music growing up, like a variety of music, and when I got started finding music for myself, like I saw Green Day play on MTV, and like that changed for me. Like I was like, I have to do that. So like I started playing music myself. So I was like playing guitar. And I went to this thing called School of Rock, where you like learn how to play your instrument and like play in a band. And like through there we were like assigned songs, so we would play a bunch of different bands like that cover their music. So that's kind of like how I started to learn. And then like I was 12 at the time, but I was there with like 16, 17-year-olds, so I learned a lot from them just by hanging out with them. And then also now like Spotify, they do like recommendation stuff. So yeah, and I hate to admit, but my younger sister too, like she'll put me on to stuff. But
Really?
I saw it first. But
yeah. Oh, that's cool. So how old were you when that happened? When you saw the Green Day thing that you said?
I was in 5th grade, so I think like 12. around that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, however old you are in 5th grade. But yeah, then I started doing School of Rock that summer into 6th grade.
Huh. And that, like where is, I don't even know where that is. Is it through some program, like, because I don't really know.
So it's like a literal building called School of Rock. The one I went to is in Plainfield, but there's like one in Naperville. There's one like in probably every state. There's like 2 in Chicago.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a business.
Yeah.
And like at one point we've met up with places, like we did a performance in Milwaukee. There's a festival called Summerfest, and like School of Rocks from across the world came. Like even School of Rock Australia was there. So it's like a business.
Did you know anyone like when you were there, like prior, or did you just go in there and just like, I'm just gonna start learning this guitar?
Yeah, my mom put me onto it, so I didn't know anyone. And like I was like a super shy kid, and it was like didn't help that like people were like 16 or 17, but everyone was super nice.
Right.
And it got to the point where I was putting people on, like if you know who AJ Argelon is.
Yeah.
He then joined, and he excelled greater than I did, but like I put him onto it.
No, that's cool. And so yeah, that means you're one of the youngest people there when you started.
Yeah.
And then I suppose it's kind of like what you said, where just being around them, you got to learn more about music.
Yeah.
Did they help you learn? Like I'm picturing it not like a classroom, but it's just like when you walk into the building, like is there just everyone has like their own instruments and they're just learning from different people or instructors, or is it just the people you're around that you're learning from?
So you would like sign up for a group. They would have like a performance at the end of the season, and you'd be split up into groups. I don't remember what it was my first year, but like the second year it was like Green Day versus AC/DC. So like of course I signed up for the Green Day course. But basically once a week you'd go and have a private lesson with your instructor where you would learn how to play whatever songs you were assigned to, and then you'd come another day of the week where all of the band members were together practicing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So definitely very interesting, but it was like a 2-day-a-week kind of thing.
I feel like that's actually one of the best ways to do it, where you do like just by yourself and then with people.
Yeah.
Because in a way, what I was getting at before was that's kind of like what I would assume is like learning like another language.
Right.
Is where like, because like I took Spanish for a little bit in junior high and high school, and like I don't remember a lot of it now because I didn't continue with it.
Yeah.
But I remember like, it's kind of like you're learning it in class with other people, and then the homework is like you learning it on your own.
Yeah. And
doing both of those, I think, would help if I put more time and energy into it. But it would definitely help if you do that, where you can do it on your own and then with people.
Right. Yeah. And
then just in general, I think learning a new language is going to help if you're just surrounded by other people who are learning the same thing.
Yeah.
So same thing with instruments. I hear a lot of people say that like learning an instrument or like music theory is like learning another language.
Yeah, I don't know too much about music theory, but like through playing, like I kind of know.
Yeah.
But I never like took a class or like couldn't. It's hard. I don't think I could explain it to someone, but it's like in my head I just know.
So what could you explain about it?
I don't like. It's like if someone wanted to, or if I'm listening to a song by ear.
Yeah.
I could assume what the notes are, or if like I knew like one of the chords is a C or something. Like I could assume what the other chords are, or be like, oh, I know for sure this chord wouldn't be in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Because I think prior to all this stuff, I learned how to play piano at like 3. And
so you've already been doing piano for like years.
Yeah.
Prior to that.
But like not in like I didn't really want to. Like it was like my parents signed me up, so I kind of just knew how to play piano. And that definitely could not explain that. Like it just, I guess, comes naturally. And then like before I did School of Rock, I taught myself how to play guitar. So I think through that, you kind of just learn. But I also don't know if like I took a music theory class, if I was like talked to about it, I don't know if I'd be able to, understand it. Like it's just in my brain somehow.
That makes sense, because that's just you doing it. It's like
you
might not know exactly what it is, but you've been around music for so long, and I guess you've been playing guitar for 10 years.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Actually,
you're gonna know a lot about it, regardless. So you can't like look at a music sheet and like play on the guitar.
No. Okay. In middle school, I was in band and I played percussion.
Okay.
And through that you had to learn how to play the marimba, which is basically the same thing as piano, but like wooden blocks. But like,
What?
have you seen a marimba? Like,
I don't know. Wait, what do you mean? It's like
it's a percussion instrument, but it's kind of like a piano, but like you use sticks to hit it.
So just xylophone.
Kind of, yeah, but it's wooden. Like it's not like the metal thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. That I had to read sheet music for.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, when I was doing piano
So
and that kind of stuff.
it's similar then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like with, I guess like for guitar, it's not mainly like a music sheet like that. Like you could just like write out the chords, because like if someone wrote C, like I just know how to play like a C chord. And, yeah.
So you do know how to play those two instruments then?
Yeah.
I feel like those are the two. If you're gonna learn any two instruments, like those are the two.
Piano's
like,
good. Yeah, for sure.
Popular ones. Yeah. Did you want to learn a new one, or do you just?
I mean,
I
actually, I know
those?
more like bass and like ukulele.
Oh, dang.
And like, I don't probably know how to play the banjo, but like I like figured it out. So I guess I don't think there's anything more that I'd want to learn. Maybe like the violin, but that's super hard.
I hear that's like really hard.
Yeah. I'm not really in the market to learn new stuff, but
What do you mean?
like I'm not like trying to like learn new
You're
stuff.
not trying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're already good at like a few things or one or two things, you don't really have to in terms of that like category. But what do you think about how many instruments that are so similar? Like, do you think there's a point to having like a banjo and a guitar? Like, because I don't know, like I know they're so different and they sound different, but like I feel like they're so similar. Like, why even have a separate?
They sound pretty different though. Like, I don't know.
Like I can tell in a song.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's like adds flavor to a song. Like the only example I can think of now is like "Mean" by Taylor Swift. Like she has like a banjo on there, and it like definitely is probably effective for like country music.
Yeah.
Like you can hear that like twangy sound.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I don't really listen to country music, so for me, it's like, just like a cool thing to know how to do. But
you just don't like it. Have you like? Did you like it before, or did you listen to it like a lot, and then you just made a decision didn't like it, or you just know?
I just didn't grow up on it, and I think maybe there's a part of like people that are super into like rock music or something. They're like, oh, we hate country, and like maybe I picked it up a little bit. There are some like songs where you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, like this is fire.
Yeah, like a couple Carrie Underwood songs. Like I can't lie, those are good. You know,
Yeah.
and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
If people consider her country, I know that there's controversy there, but like, yeah, it's just maybe I don't want to say I don't like country, but it's not like my go-to to listen to.
So what is your favorite genre?
I'd say pop punk, like Green Day, Blink-182. I don't listen to them as
So
much
Green
now.
Day's still your favorite?
Of all time, favorite band. Like, but I don't listen to them as regularly as I used to. But it's like if someone were to ask, I'm gonna probably just like Green Day. Like I saw them when they played at Lollapalooza last year. I literally got a job at Lollapalooza so I could see them.
Really?
Yeah.
And isn't Lollapalooza like 3 days or so?
I think it's 4.
Oh, it's like 4.
Yeah.
I've never been to that either. But
You
I just
have to.
no, like I know about it, but I know it seems like really cool to do.
Yeah.
To go to, but so that means you were there all 4 days and got to hear them.
Yeah.
For all of the days.
Yeah, I like worked morning shifts so that I could go see them at night.
that's pretty cool actually. Yeah.
Why do you think you haven't? Okay, I guess you said that you didn't really get into music. Would you want to like go to a concert now?
Yeah, I mean, if it's someone that I'm like interested in listening to, yeah. I don't think you could just throw me into like any concert, be like, oh, check this out, and I would like it. I think it's definitely something that I either like grew up on or something that is like nostalgic to me. I think then it would be worth it if I like know not just like 1 or 2 songs of the people I'm listening to, but like a lot of their songs or like one album of it or something. I think that would be worth it to go. But it's also like, since I just haven't done it, like I want to do that because I haven't done it, but it's also like I just don't even know how it would go. Would I go and like the first 10 minutes I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here, like, but it probably wouldn't be because it's like it's music that I would like, so it'd be worth it to go. But tell me if I'm wrong. I think it really matters with the people that you go with also.
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, I've also gone to shows alone because it's like if no one wants to go, then I'll just go.
Yeah, I mean, if you like it, then just go.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to wait on other people.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're in a good group. I think I'm at a point where like I enjoy being very close at concerts, and sometimes now with concert culture, people line up very extremely early.
Yeah.
Like I've camped for a show for 15 hours before, which I will never do again. But it was like, and when I got there, like I got there the day before the show, and there were 30 people in front of me. So it's like it's gotten crazy for some artists, but to my point was being like I'd have to find a friend that would want to do something
willing
like that.
to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I see that. But you know people that are like who like music as much as you do and that are into it as much as you do. That they'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, me and my best friend were in line.
Yeah. Okay, that's so cool. That's fun because I think it's fun when you get to find like a person or a group of people you can do something like that with, because it's like no matter how boring like the journey is, like you know that like what you're doing it for is like really fun.
Yeah.
So that is pretty cool.
Who are you? Do you have any people that you listen to consistently, like music wise?
I listen to I really like Tame Impala.
Oh,
so
yeah.
His music is kind of fun to listen to. A lot of it's kind of similar though, so sometimes it gets old if it's like all the time. I like Wallows. I've heard of Wallows before. They're pretty solid.
I've seen them so many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Hippocampus.
They were just here. I just photographed them.
No,
yes,
what?
They were here last week.
Dude,
oh my gosh.
dude, yeah. I was just listening to it and I'm like, I gotta listen to more of their music. I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cage the Elephant, you know, like they're classic.
Yeah.
Those are some of the main ones that are just that I like.
And that would be so good because Tame Impala, like their show is good, like the visuals that they have.
Oh really?
I guess it's one guy, but like it's
right.
you have
that
to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So where was Hippocampus at?
They're at this venue called the Salt Shed. It's in Chicago, and like it's normally outdoors, but they just built like an indoor place, and it's huge. It's so pretty. I'll have to show you after. Like photos. It's so pretty. And
I'm sure like all of them are gonna be like in Chicago.
Yeah.
And not really gonna be in like anywhere else.
Right.
So it's kind of cool that like all the people that are gonna do concerts are gonna come like to Chicago, which is not that far from us.
Yeah,
so it's just cool.
Far. Like pretty much anyone you'd want to see is gonna come here.
Right. That makes sense. But I've also seen your Instagram account with it's the photography. So, when did that start?
I feel like always growing up, I was like the friend that took pictures of everything. Like maybe to the point that it got annoying. Like I was like I just love taking pictures, and I started taking portraits of people. I feel like in my head I'll just like look at something and be like, oh, that'd be a cool photo. So I guess really young, maybe like 6th grade, my earliest memory is like trying to take pictures of like my friend group at like a bonfire. I'd say around 6th grade. Yeah.
Huh. So like there's so many people that I know that are like in photography, and I think it's so cool, and like I want to I want to try that also, because I think it's just fun, like what you said, like it's so easy to just like take a photo or see something that looks cool and just want to take it, and then like forever, like it's literally captured. Especially with like social media now, like you can just post whatever you have taken on there. But like there's so many people that I know that just get into it and they go straight to like buying a camera, and they're like, all right, well I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna figure this out, and then they get pretty good at it. Do you think you're like pretty good, or what? Like
I think because what I do mainly now is concert photography, and I think there's always room to improve, because with concerts it's like pretty dark and you have to figure out stuff with lighting and editing. So I think I'm good, but I definitely think I could be better because there's so many fantastic concert photographers. So I'm knowledge wise, I think I'm good, but I think I could definitely improve for sure.
So you do that for money, or is that just for fun?
Well, so I
mean, it's probably both, is what I'd guess.
Yeah, so I own a music magazine, and through there, like, most of the revenue we get goes back into the magazine.
Okay.
But like, if an artist reaches out to me and wants photos, then that's where it's like I would charge them.
So wait, say that again. You have your own
music magazine.
So how does that work? Like, how did you even, like, how do you get to that point? How do you get your own, like, magazine like that?
So, well, in, like, 2020, when I went to college, I met this girl who said that she started, like, an online publication, and she asked me if I wanted to be part of it. I had no idea what she was talking about, and I was just like, yeah. And then 2 years later, I went to a concert, and I saw one of my favorite bands called The Story So Far, and, like, a bunch of, like, photographers came out, and they were taking photos, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, I have no idea, like, how do you even reach out to people to take photos at concerts? And I was, like, searching online, and they were like, you have to go through a publication. So I just remembered what that girl said 2 years ago, and I reached out, and she was like, oh, I don't really use it anymore. If you want it, you can have it. And I was like, oh, absolutely. So then from there, I started running it, and then you'd reach out to, like, an artist's publicist and be like, hi, I work for this publication. I'd love to come take photos and review this show for you. And then they'll be like, yes or no, and then go to the show, take photos.
And do you just keep going until someone says yes, or do they normally say yes, like, right away?
It depends. Like, if they're a smaller artist, they'll usually say yes. But if it's a bigger artist, like, for example, a lot of people want to shoot Taylor Swift. She's gonna be here this weekend. Which I still don't know my answer for if that's a yes or no. But, like, they'll tell you.
Oh,
like,
so you ask them?
Yeah, they'll tell you, like,
cool.
they'll tell you, like, the day before.
Yeah.
Like, some people, they'll tell you, like, weeks in advance, but the bigger the artist, they'll be like, they'll tell you the day before. And sometimes the answer is no. Like, someone like Taylor Swift, the answer could just be no because they're a bigger artist and everyone wants to shoot for them. So it really depends. People have said no before, especially, like, then we try and shoot at festivals, and it's like, everyone wants to shoot at this festival, so then, you know, and we're pretty small, so it's only been, like, a year last week that I've had this, so, yeah.
So you've been doing that for a year, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that hard to run it, or is it, because you said it's just you?
It was just me. Now it's bigger, so.
Oh, that puts a lot of pressure off you, though.
In some ways, yes. Like, so we have people. It did start with just people in Chicago, and now we have people throughout the U.S. and one person in the U.K. It gets hard when, like, Taylor Swift is on tour right now. If someone wants to cover Taylor, she can only be covered once. So, like, if I have someone, like, not only am I fighting everyone in Chicago on our team, but then there might be people from other states. And in the beginning, I was a huge people pleaser. So there was a band called the Backseat Lovers, who I love, and I wanted to shoot for them. And then someone else also wanted to shoot for them. And you would think as the owner, I would just be like, yes, but they asked me, and I was like, no, you can have it. And I, like,
what?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, that's, like, an issue that I had in the beginning, and now it's kind of gotten to, like, I just make sure that I'm not in charge of shows. Like, we have, like, a Google sheet where people put what show they want, what city, whatever.
Right.
And basically now I just have their title is, like, editor, who gets to say yes or no, so that because I struggle with being able to say no to people, I'm just like, I'm not in charge of that. Reach out to this person. Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of direct them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I think there kind of is a lot of pressure on me just because I am, like, a perfectionist, and I want everything to be perfect, and I want to be involved in every way, even though maybe I shouldn't. So it's, like, maybe pressure that I've created for myself that doesn't necessarily have to be there. But I also run it with my younger sister, Regan, and I'm kind of in charge of all the photographers, and she's in charge of all the writers. So people will, like, write reviews for albums or show reviews, and she's, like, in charge of that. So, yeah. Sorry, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, yeah, I think it did. I don't even remember what I asked, but it was just cool hearing it. So that's hard to be kind of like a perfectionist, because I kind of was like that too. In some ways, I guess it's still am, but that's hard if you're doing music and photography. But a lot of people who I know who are photographers, they consider themselves perfectionists.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I feel like for pictures, if you're a perfectionist, it's gonna be really hard to get or edit, like, a really good photo.
Right, yeah.
Especially if you have a bunch of photos, you're like, okay, well, I gotta make this one good, gotta make this one good. And for music, I think it's almost, I don't know which is harder, but if you're, like, playing something and it doesn't hit, like, the right chord or just whatever, a key, I feel like that would be. I feel like it's almost like bowling, where if you don't get a 300 after like all these years of practice, it's just gonna like frustrate you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's harder to be a perfectionist to do? Yeah. How about what's that? Is it harder, do you think, to be in music, to be a perfectionist, or photography? And then how has that experience kind of shaped you?
See, I don't know, because if I'm sitting in my room trying to learn a song on guitar, like I will like drive myself crazy if like I do this thing and maybe it's an OCD thing where I'm like, you have to do it 3 times in a row perfect. So then like that kind of starts to drive me crazy, and it's like then I realize like I'm making up this rule of perfect. Like how is it like you do it 3 times in a row, now that's perfect? But then for photography, I think because sometimes when you're shooting a show, you're not the only photographer. I think you can see like other people's work, and then you start to compare.
So it's other people.
And like I guess that's kind of a little bit of like imposter syndrome too. So I think I'm gonna say photography right now, just because it's like what my main focus is. But I definitely think the music is hard too, especially because even there you can compare to like other people as well. But I'd say photography right now.
Yeah, because there's times where I'd be like learning something on the piano and I'm like, oh, I did so good, because it's just self-taught or whatever. And then I'll see my friend like playing a piano and they're like so good, and I'm just like, okay, I get it, like stop, like all right, you can do all that. And I'm just like, dang, now it feels like everything I did like wasn't like worth it, or like like I'm not doing like enough. And it's like what you said, it's like just kind of comparing yourself to others. But yeah, with photography, I think like I said, I know a lot of photographers, and I feel like a lot of people know a lot of photographers. I don't know, I think it's a big thing people are getting into.
A little oversaturated sometimes.
Yeah, or like people have a camera and they just claim to be like a photographer.
Or like people are picking up like film a lot now, like film photography.
It's just for like videos, or
no, like like literal film.
Oh,
like you know.
Yeah, but like
rolls of film, like that, like film cameras, like the old cameras, like it's kind of like picking up.
Like
now.
Polaroid, or?
No, I don't know how to explain.
But like, okay, so what are you talking about for the film, like?
Like a roll of film.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I get the film.
But not like Polaroid film, but like film that you put into a camera and then.
For a video?
No, like for photography.
So what's the difference between that and just regular camera? With the film, like, so like what's the difference?
Do you know what a disposable camera is?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like you could buy a roll of film and put it into a film camera.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, whatever.
I'll show you.
But okay, now I know there's another element.
Yeah, and it's like picking up, at least in Chicago, and I go to an art school, so like everyone shoots film, which is not a bad thing. But like it's like it comes with 36 photos on the roll, and then like you shoot it, and then you go and get that developed, and then you get the photo sent back to you.
Oh wait, yes, I do know.
Yeah.
Okay, I do know.
Which is like, I don't know where we were in the conversation, but I mean it's a cool thing. But that's another thing. Like I started shooting film, and maybe I'm not that good at it. But that's when it gets like crazy, because it's like it's expensive too. Like the roll is like $10 to $20, and then
just for the 36.
And then you like send it to get developed, and that's like $20. And then like you could get it back, and your photos aren't good. Like I shot a show on film, got the roll back, and it was so bad, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it ended up being like a fault with my camera, which those cameras are expensive in itself. Like I paid like $200 for it, and I was like, you know what? But that's what comes with shooting film, because you just like you won't know until you get it back.
But if you take it on a regular camera, you can see and upload it to your computer and be like, oh, I know this is gonna be a good photo or not. So like, why would film be an option when you can just know if the photos are gonna be good and it's cheaper?
I mean, sometimes the photos look really cool, and I think because that's just what people used to shoot on before they had digital cameras, and it's like vintage stuff is like making a comeback, I guess. But I don't know, it's really fun. I guess I took like a film class in college where you like even learned how to develop the film yourself, and I guess it's just something cool to be like, you know, I have no idea how the photo's gonna turn out, and then you get it and maybe it's not exactly what you thought, but it still looks cool.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know if it's worth the risk though.
Yeah, it's an expensive hobby to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've like gotten to a point where I'm like, sometimes like, I don't know. My most recent experience, like for one, like our magazine right now is online, but we're about to be in print, and we shot like the cover of it with a band, and like we had someone do BTS, which is like behind the scenes, and they shot it all on film, which I mean I don't know, it has like a vintage look to it, and it's cool, but then after I was like, dang, that was pretty expensive for me to do, but I don't know.
And you said you're going to an art school like now?
Yeah, I go to Columbia in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that. So is that, is it all forms of art?
Yeah, it's most popular for film, like video film, like film and television, and I go for music business, and my concentration is like artist management, but it's like mainly everything else is art, like art somewhere in there.
Right, right. So other like actual like artists in there for like drawing and painting?
Right, yeah, literally. Yeah, like fine art, and like my close friend goes for like audio, and my other friend Peyton goes for like fashion and marketing. So
that is kind of cool. I bet that's how it is in like New York all the time too, because it's like fashion and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
No, it's interesting. So, what's your plan like for the year? Like, what's a goal for this year in regards to that?
So.
Stumped you.
So, my concentration is artist management, and I guess my goal is to be an artist manager, and I manage, I'll say 2.5 people right now. I manage a band, and then another artist, and I'm like working with someone else. I don't know if I'd say that my title is manager right now, but we're just working together.
Right.
And like the band is gonna go on tour in a couple weeks. And ideally I would have gone on the tour. It's just not in the works right now, but I guess like my goal is to eventually go on tour.
And just like film just whoever you're with.
Well, I guess I don't know. In this case, like I would go for like managing them.
Okay.
Because I try to make sure that like people that I manage, that I don't blur the lines of like also photographing them.
Yeah.
Because I think when I've been friends with bands and I start saying like, oh, like I'll take pictures of you, then it like starts to like be like a casual thing and not really like work. I don't know how to explain that. Like they just start to want photos all the time, and it's like you know, just making sure it's separate. But like I guess my goal is to, I would go on tour as a photographer, but probably not for one of the bands that I manage.
Yeah, okay. So you like traveling?
I like traveling, yeah. I don't know how much I'd like traveling in like a bus or a van.
Yeah.
But
I like road trips, so like I feel like I could enjoy that.
Yeah. I do as well, but I don't know about like, for example, this band is like 4 guys, and it would just be me in a van, and they don't have AC in their van, which is gonna be interesting. But
okay, when you do like road trips and stuff, and there's no AC, that's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
Like you have to fix that. Like that is the worst thing, especially in the summer.
Right. Yeah, because they're going to Arizona and California and Dallas, and I'm like,
bro, that's gonna be so tough.
Yeah.
And it's the whole. Oh, you said it's a van,
not
a bus. Okay.
Right.
That's gonna be so tough. I've never been like out west that far, but like I feel like you have to have like AC if you're going out in the summer.
Yeah. I do really want to go to Colorado or Utah.
Why?
I think the mountains are gorgeous, and I think like because I go to like Nashville a lot, and like those mountains are brown, I think, and I want to go where the mountains are red. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Like I think it's really pretty.
You're talking like the clay.
Yeah,
because it's like red, like reddish brown.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like the mountains over there, like the Appalachian Mountains, that whole like region is not. Like they're not the tallest mountains, but like Rocky Mountains are definitely cool because I've been to Colorado.
Okay.
So I've been there a few times, That's like the only place out west I've been, and it's pretty cool. I mean, if you're like an outdoorsy person, like that's definitely a place to go to.
Yeah,
for sure. Like
that's on my list for this summer, hopefully.
Oh, you're gonna try to go there?
Yeah, next month maybe. I just like make plans in my head. I'm like, I gotta find a way to do it. Yeah. I don't know with who, but I just have to go.
Yeah. No. I mean, would you fly or drive there?
I think I'd have to fly. I don't know if I could drive.
I drove there.
What?
Well, my cross country team went there.
I remember.
You remember when we did? Yeah, we did that for like 2 years. Or I did it for 2 years when I was there. And so I was part of the first and the second time we went there, and that was kind of just to get that experience of.
In high school, right?
Yeah, it was junior and senior year. So they're going
so cool.
into junior and going into senior year. So that was like a fun trip because it's in the summer. You're with all the people, kind of the same goal, same like values, I guess, and running. And it was to get the idea of like this is what like Olympians like kind of train in with like the altitude training.
Oh, okay.
And you don't really benefit from altitude training unless you're there for like more than 6 weeks, because that's when your body starts producing more red blood cells, which carry more oxygen. So then if you carry more oxygen in different muscles, you get tired. Like I think you get tired less. I don't know what the exact reason is, but like basically you're able to breathe better in harder conditions, so that when you come down to like sea level, where there's more air molecules than when you're up high in the mountains, it's easier to breathe. So
was it hard to breathe when you got there?
No, I mean part of it was because like all of us were like already endurance athletes, so it wasn't like we were just like super dead.
That's true.
Because we're kind of already trained for it. But no, because we got there and we were in where did you want to go in Colorado? Do you know anywhere?
I think like
Denver. Yeah. So we were I guess close to Denver, maybe not. We were in Estes Park.
Okay.
And the altitude is, I think it's like 8,000 feet, 8,500 feet. Yeah, anything.
What's that compared to here?
Here's like 300 feet. Like it's like 300 or 500 feet. Like it's super low. So because you have to remember, we're like, not only are we pretty close to like the Great Plains, but like the lake.
Right.
So like if that's sea level, we're not that far from like Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not very high, but yeah, in Colorado, like obviously it's gonna be really high, or just anywhere along the Rocky Mountains. But no, it wasn't like it was hard to breathe like walking around. Like I'm sure it would be for other people. I think people respond differently with like going like altitude sickness and stuff, because that's real. But no, it was really fun to train there because we were there for like 3 days, so it wasn't like super long.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I mean.
And you guys, wait, how long was the drive?
17 hours to get there, like through the night, stayed there for 3 days, and drove back. But that was fun because it also was like a team bonding experience, like being in the van, and then also like when we were there. So that was definitely a fun trip. But I'm always down to drive because I feel like the journey is more it's like almost as equal as the destination, in terms of enjoying it and kind of like making it worth it. But yeah, I will definitely drive over taking like a plane.
Interesting.
Unless it's like out of country, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I've just never driven that far, ever. But that would be like cool, sightseeing stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's not like I was the one driving either,
right,
so it's kind of easier. So if you're driving, if you were to drive to Colorado, just you or with someone else, like that would definitely be hard and boring. Especially the route to get there. There's nothing. You don't see any cool scenery from Chicago to Denver because it's all like flat. So, and like right when you get to Colorado is when it starts being cool to like you said, like the sightseeing stuff.
Yeah.
But that's right when then you get there. Then you're not going anywhere. So if you're doing like a fun road trip, starting around that area would be cool, and then going more out west because I hear Utah is really cool, like Zion National Park. I think that's what I've heard is like really cool, or just Salt Lake City, or just the mountains over there. So in terms of that, like sightseeing and just seeing all the scenic routes would be worth it. But when you drive from like Chicago to Denver, there's like nothing there, so it's really boring. But
Noted.
But yeah. There's a lot of good places in Colorado. I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong with any of the places you go to if you're actually gonna do that.
I hope so. There's a venue there called Red Rocks Amphitheater that is like super popular. Like everyone wants to go there because it's like literally like kind of in the mountains, I think.
Okay.
And really pretty. So my goal would to be to go see a show out there and then do some like hiking stuff.
Yeah. There's I mean Colorado's so cool. That's like the only like one of the coolest places I've been probably. But yeah. Are you excited for like what you're gonna be doing with your management and the magazine, or is it more like nervous?
For the magazine, I'm excited and a little nervous. This is probably like the first time I've been a little hands off because like I have all these ideas for what I want the cover to look like, the inside to look like, but I can't do any of it. Like I don't know how to use anything to make it. So my sister is making all the designs, and then we have our contributor that's in the UK. She's from Chicago, but she lives in London. Is also doing the design, and it's just one of those things where like I don't really know what I'm doing, so I have to like let them be in charge. So I guess in that case I'm nervous, but also excited just to be able to know that like if I'm not doing it, it can still get done. You know, I think maybe that's
just the trust.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to be able to not feel like I have to do everything, and then also just getting to work with my sister is really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like she's pretty involved.
Yeah, and she's like so creative and has so many ideas. So I'm super excited about that, and I hope that if this one goes well, because this is our first one, that we'll just keep the ball rolling to make more. And then for management, super excited. Yeah, my artists that I manage, they're so talented and they have really good music, and hopefully these shows in a couple weeks will go well. And then we'll keep doing more tours. Yeah,
no, that sounds like so fun. It's cool because like it's music, and I feel like anything related to music that you can do, just for anything is just always gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like if you're working, you want it to be something that you want to do. So if it's like with music, like you can never really go wrong with it. Yeah. I also feel like it's not like worth stressing over like things like that, like anything related to what you're doing. Like I feel like there's a lot of things that could like go wrong with it just from like what I'm hearing, but it's also like I feel like a lot of people that you're kind of working with like already know what they're doing, so it's nothing to be like too concerned about.
And I try to be like you said, so many things could go wrong, but so many things could go right.
Yeah.
Like, so
yeah,
I'm excited, and like we got to interview a lot of cool artists, and yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, honestly. And like I said, it's just cool that you get to do it with your sister. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to say or add or about anything?
I think no.
Well, that's all. This has been The Right Track with Brad and Sloane Johnson, and yep, just another video that we did, I guess. Yeah, it's fun. All right, peace.